Hello everyone, this is Ruhanpreet here. Today I'm going to tell you about the software of project management, that is Project Libre. So this is the software through which we can create new projects. So this is the screen of Project Libre, which is divided into two parts. On the left hand side there are few columns which require some of the details of the project, and on the right hand side there is a Gantt chart in which we can see the changes as per we are going to make changes on the left hand side. So there are a few columns, which is name column, which tells us about the name and of the project and the activities which we are going to perform for the particular project. So there is a duration column which tells us about in how many days our activity or the project will be completed. So there are two other columns which tells us about the start time and date as well as the finish time and date of the project. So now let's for this project I have taken the project for the renovation of UCW building, in which I'm going to focus on the classrooms, the ceiling and the floor of the classrooms, and I'm going to use two equipments, that are machinery and forklift. And for the product development I'm going to use raw materials and suppliers. Okay, yeah, so just let's indent this one. Sorry. Yeah. Now I'm going to allocate resources for this project. Let's go to resources. This is the table which requires some details for the allocation. So firstly, I'm going to give work, and I'm going to write about the name of the people to whom I'm going to give work. First one is Brian. Second one is Ruhan. Next one is Navdeep. And the last one I'm going to give birth to Jaspreet. So now you can see that as I'm writing the names, you can see the changes in the other columns as well. So if the materials I'm going to use is cement, bricks, and concrete. Okay, so for the machinery, equipments, I'm going to use machinery and forklifts. Okay, so if we see the type, cement, bricks, concrete, machinery, and forklift are not work. These are the materials. So I will change their type from work to material. Yeah. So if I will scroll my screen to the other side, I can see a few other columns which require to be filled. For the standard rate, this means how much rate I'm going to pay each person for completing their activity or for performing work from my project. So let's say $20 is the standard rate which I'm going to give every person for the work. And let's say for the overtime, it's $30. 30. So for the cost per use means like per unit cost of the materials which I'm going to use for my project. So let's say for the cement, it's $100 per unit. For the bricks, it's $5 per unit. For the concrete, it's $150 per unit. And for the machinery, let's say it's 20,000 per for the machinery. And for the forklift, let's say it's 15,000. Okay, so now let's go to the task again, Gantt, so that we can allocate resources over here. Let's suppose our first activity, that is sealing, is going to take 10 days to complete. Okay, so I want to assign this job to Brian. and he's going to work for 2 full days, and he's going to use cement for the work. Let's say 40 units of cement. Now you can see the changes in a Gantt chart. So next activity I want to assign it to Jaspreet. Let's say she's going to work for 3 days and she's going to use bricks. Let's say 100 units of bricks, and for the duration, let's say she's going to work, this activity is going to be completed in 9 days. Now you can see the difference over here in a Gantt chart. You can see the changes. So for the equipment, let's talk about the machinery. For example, this activity is going to take 11 days to be completed. And for the resources, I want to allocate this work to Ruhan. And let's say she's going to work for 5 days. And she's going to work with concrete. Let's say 30 units of concrete and machinery, right? So you can see the changes here also in the Gantt chart. So let's say for the forklift, I'm going to give this work to Navdeep, and he is going to work for 4 days and going to use forklift. Okay, now you can see the changes, and let's say this activity is going to take 10 days to be completed, right? You can see the difference over here. And let's talk about the product development. I want to assign this work to Ruhan and Navdeep. Let's say they are going to perform work for 4 days together. You can see the changes over here. And let's say this activity is going to take 6.5 days. Okay. For the last one, for the suppliers, let's say this activity is going to take 5 days, and I want to assign this work to Brian, and he's, let's suppose, going to work for 3 days, and Jaspreet, and she's going to work for 3 days as well. Now you can see the changes in the Gantt chart as I have made changes over here. So now let's go to network. This is the network for my project of renovation of UCW building. This is the work breakdown structure for my project. And if I go to resources, so now you can see that all the resources are properly allocated and properly used for the project. And for the resource breakdown structure, this is the resource breakdown structure for my project, which tells us about the cost that each activity is going to incur, and the cost that each person is going to incur while performing the activities. So thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.